All right, y'all. We got Ryan here hopping on the podcast. This is my boy. He's fresh out of Colorado right now, and we're going to talk about micro communities on the online marketplaces. He has some experience selling products online, so I wanted to talk to him about his experience and really the platforms and the things he's been using to be successful. And we don't have to go into the products he specifically sells himself, but we can learn a lot from the techniques and tools he uses. So, what's up, Ryan? How we doing?
What's up, Matt? Chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. Thanks for
Good.
taking the time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute, but you've been grinding through this whole COVID thing. I've been seeing that you have taken a lot on with online marketplaces.
Yeah. COVID's been pretty good to me when it comes to business related things.
Mm-hmm.
I've I was traveling before COVID just throughout different countries and whatnot for the last 4 years. So I've kind of haven't put all my dedication into working on my businesses and whatnot. And since COVID, I've been in one particular place.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've been putting in a lot of time and getting a lot of benefit out of it, no doubt.
Did you start this type of online marketplace stuff before COVID?
Yes, I did. So I'll give you a brief explanation of what I have done or what I'm doing and what my business is. So I have three businesses of my own that I created in the past, let's say 3 years, probably 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And all three of them are different, completely different. All three of them are in their own micro communities. In other words, all three of them are involved with something that I'm genuinely interested in, something that I do, something that I know well. So it's not just something random. It's important, I think, to have if you're going to start a business, to have it in something that you actually care about. You want to have that
Mm-hmm.
passion.
Totally.
Um, yeah. So my first one I started about 3 years ago, and that one's actually in I guess the cannabis community, the marijuana community. I recognize that like section of industry is booming
Mm-hmm.
since weed has become pretty much legal throughout the states. Um, and I recognize that, and I wanted to make a business out of it. I wanted to make a way to make money through it. I also wanted to find a way to make money without going in to an office or anything, just something I could do at home.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been 3 years since the day I decided to put some work towards that, and yeah, now that business in particular is it is. I mean, it supports my whole life. It finances me with enough money to to live comfortably, to invest in other things. Yeah, so I'd like to kind of talk about how I did that. I did it over a series of 3 years, and I didn't have much help. I did a bunch of YouTube searching, Google searching,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I feel like I can probably show people how to do it and just give them a jump start if it's something they're interested in, and probably pick it up way faster than I did because they'll have some help.
No, that's huge. I mean, YouTube is so good for tutorials of like how to's, and that's probably how you learned. It sounds like through YouTube and just watching other people how they do it.
No doubt. Everything on was through YouTube. Like the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I probably Googled was like, or YouTube was like how to sell, niche products, how to sell products. And I just went on
Mm-hmm.
a YouTube store, hours and hours of
Mm-hmm.
researching. And yeah, it's turned out good. So um what I want to talk to today, if possible, is about how each of my businesses are in my own micro communities. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's got their own micro communities. For instance, right now, for me, I'm really into, let's say, like we were talking about earlier, jujitsu and kickboxing and yoga and kind of this like mixed martial arts and like body control type
Mm-hmm.
thing. So like that is a micro community. Like I'm sure you have some. Are you into these days?
A micro community I'm into is running right now. Like the running
Running.
community, yeah, running shoes, running gear.
Sure.
Yeah, fitness and more towards like cardio type of fitness.
Right on. I know you are involved in, like, you care a lot about the environmentalism,
Yes,
and
social responsibility, sustainability, recycled products.
right.
That's a micro community that I'm part of. Is like the sustainable, recycled, compostable product.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of you. That's like the main thing that pops in my head on a
Mm-hmm.
personal level. And I mean, you started a business, right? That is in your
Mm-hmm.
own micro community.
Yeah, I started a business selling eco groovy products on a marketplace right now on my website. So I have, stainless steel straws and compostable cups and hemp masks and, all organic lip balm with like a cardboard type of lip balm holder. Um, so yeah,
Great.
that is a micro community. That's sustainable. That is like a niche, right? That's how you're
Exactly.
identifying those like micro community.
Exactly. So I mean, you did this exactly what our topic of conversation is. You have a micro community, and it's something you're interested in, something you care about, you're involved with, and
Mm-hmm.
you decided to try to make, a living off of it, possibly, hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
maybe already are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
And so how do you, I mean, so finding your micro community, like it's something you got to be passionate about or something that you like. I mean, it sounds like,
something you're involved with, something sure.
yeah, because I just have a passion for, sustainability and being the most eco-conscious like I can be in my personal life. And then I start a business to, help sell people's products that are trying to contribute to, sustainable means and, sustainable repurpose stuff. So, and then yeah, that really my passion turned into a business and over the last 2 years, and that's just because I like sustainability and I like that like niche, I like that environment. So I totally know what you mean, and just really finding a micro community starts with just really what are your passions.
Exactly. So at the time when I started my first business, the one that um, supports me at this moment, it was the marijuana industry. And at that point in time, I was heavily involved in the marijuana industry, legally, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I don't want to go into detail about what products I sell in that community because that is my well-being. That's if
Mm-hmm.
something was to happen, I don't want that to go under because that supports me. But
Totally.
I have started a business not too long ago that I'm exploring the same concepts of um, trying to start a business in a micro community of something I'm interested in, something that I think is growing. You don't want a micro community that's going under. You want something that's going to have potential to expand. And I do feel comfortable talking in specific about what this business I've started is. And this one is actually in the disc golf community.
Mm-hmm.
Disc golf, a lot of people probably don't know what disc golf is, or maybe they do now, but it's probably the fastest growing sport in the US. I've looked up numbers on it for this, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember any of them. But it's really fast growing. And it's something I got interested in about, I don't know, 4 years ago, started playing, liked it because you play, it's like in nature, it doesn't cost money to play, it's competitive if it needs to be. And I'm a competitive person in a sense. So
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of hitting all those checks. You can take your dog, and just run through the park while you're throwing frisbees. So it's more than just the sport. It's the whole sense of going out and
Mm-hmm.
disc
True.
golfing. That's what got me into this micro community. And having this business mind, I guess, that I've always had. I've always been an entrepreneur, whether it be buying stuff at yard sales and selling it on Craigslist, or buying iPhones cheap in a neighborhood and selling them more expensive in another neighborhood. I've always
Mm-hmm.
kind of been like that. I wanted to start something in disc golf, knowing that it was also growing and seeing how much it was growing. So about 2 years ago, I started an Instagram, and the Instagram is, you could actually check it out. It's at disc.gripley. It's DISC .GRIPLEY.
Okay, we all should follow him now.
Yeah, give me a follow. There's my products out there, the new stuff I'm doing.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Disc Gripply. Okay. And
disc.
what did you start posting on that site?
Exactly. So I knew that eventually I would want to sell something
Mm-hmm.
uh, through this platform. When I made the Instagram, I had no clue what I was going to sell. I just wanted to kind of get my name out there. I wanted to start, gaining followers. Social media is I mean, it's so important today if you're trying to, get a reach, have people see your stuff. Um, so I just made a disc golf Instagram. I didn't know what to call it. I call it Disc Gripply. I started posting videos just of the coolest disc golf videos I've seen, people throwing a disc super far and making it in, or
Mm-hmm.
a lot of disc golf's in nature. So there's a lot of like nature videos of like maybe a bunch of cows, surrounding a disc golf basket. It's cool stuff. And I started just doing that, accumulating followers, and then, seeing what is involved in disc golf, specifically the material items,
Uh-huh.
right? So, for instance, when it came to disc golf, I was like, okay, so I'm gaining followers. I actually didn't even try to start selling a product or even consider it for about the first year. I just spent a year of just gaining followers and just being involved in the community. Um, Started looking through, Reddit disc golf, getting into disc golf because it was becoming a passion. I started competing in disc golf a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And about, I don't know, a year after having this Instagram, I was like, okay, it's time to start doing something here. So I made an Etsy right as COVID started uh, for my disc golf things, knowing that at some point I would, still not knowing what, but knowing I would sell something related to disc golf. Made an Etsy. Um, and then COVID hit, and I was like, okay, what do people need during COVID? I'm like, nothing really disc golf related, but I knew people were making masks. Um, and my sister works on Etsy, and her business is Etsy based, so she knew a bit about it. And she was like, hey, I know you want to make an Etsy for your disc golf
Mm-hmm.
items, not knowing what you're going to sell. Eventually, I'll have an Amazon too. And I was like, okay. She's like, you should start making masks, put them on Etsy because they will sell, and start, gaining likes, like gaining people buying your product and reviewing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, worked out great. I sold maybe 1,000 masks from
Wow.
COVID, from about March to like September. I sold about 1,000 masks, which means I got, a couple hundred positive reviews and
Mm-hmm.
5-star reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And with the masks, I was sewing them. So I was sewing them myself, and I was like, okay, now I've got these likes. I've got a positive Etsy account. Like, it looks good. Now to start doing something disc golf related. And I realized that chalk bags were something that was in the disc golf community. And these are, actually I have some right here. Oh, they are, you can see, this is an example.
Oh,
It's
wow.
just, yeah, it's just a fabric. Um, and it has like beads inside and chalk in it. So when you go like this, there'll be like a chalk residue on your hand. It's for better grip.
Okay.
If you're disc golfing in the heat, your hands will tend to be sweaty, and sometimes you lose the disc. You don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Attached, you can see my Instagram,
Oh, that's sick.
maybe at Disc Gripply.
At Disc Grip.
So you always want to get the name out, So if somebody buys this,
Mm-hmm.
they see it, their friends like, oh, that's dope. Where'd you get that money disc golf bag?
What? That's so
On the
cool.
on the tag, it shows my Instagram, so they could go.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, one way for them to find products. So yeah, that's where it started. I've added some products since then, and I have a lot planned for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like the basics of where I started. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love the product. That's such a good idea. And I mean, you found the community, you wanted to create a product like for that community, and then you did, and then you posted on Etsy because you had the mask experience.
Mhm.
Have you expanded to that product in particular to other platforms other than Etsy?
Um, So no, I've kind of moved slow on this because all my effort has really been towards uh, my products that are in the marijuana community. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually don't sell those on Etsy. I sell all that on Amazon, and that's drop shipping.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, that's the easiest way to earn a living
Mm-hmm.
and not have to do much work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and eventually, I will want to drop ship products onto Amazon under my brand name. So what I'm doing really with the disc golf chalk bags, because I know it takes a lot of time, it's not the most profitable, but I'm building a brand. You
Building the
know,
brand.
I'm building a brand.
Yeah,
That's a big thing.
that is for sure.
Um,
It's important to know that, I think, for listeners to understand that building the brand is important. I mean, you posted for a year on that disc golf
exactly.
Instagram before you even posted a product. You know, the get rich quick schemes, you know, are so not, you know, sustainable, because it's sustainable if you're actually passionate about it. You're going to post about something for a long period of time before you even try to, you know, throw a right hook at somebody and say, hey, buy this. So
Exactly.
I think you're doing it in a very sustainable way, and going about it very logically.
Yeah, and the way I've gone about it, even with my first business, I've never wanted to take out, a big loan to start a business. I know that's a lot of people do. They're like, all right, I'm going to take out 50 grand and start
Oh my
this.
gosh. Uh-huh.
I didn't want to be in that debt. I don't want that type of stress in my life. So every business, and this goes for all three, my third is in land investment, something that I've just always wanted to do, accumulate land and be familiar with what land is worth.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go into that later, maybe. But I wanted to start with no loans. So everything, the companies I've built, at least the first one I've built that supplies me now, I never have gotten a loan for it at all, and now it's making me enough
Mm-hmm.
to support my lifestyle and to allow me to put more money into this new ventures like the land investing or the disc golf thing I'm doing. Um, I forget your question of where we're going off of that,
Oh
but
no, I think I just forgot what I said too, but
okay.
I think we're kind of just getting at how important it is to be sustainable in
Oh
the
yeah,
long term process of like
exactly. It's
being.
not a one day. It's not one day. You're just going to
Mm-hmm.
be up and selling hundreds of things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, in the product I sell on Amazon in the marijuana community, it is a product. It's also a brand name, so it's a brand that I have. And with that product in particular, it's an item that you use once. If you're in this community, you'll use
Mm-hmm.
this product, and then a week later, you'll need more of them.
Mm-hmm.
So with building a brand, it's like once they try your product, they know it's a good product. That's a return customer you have.
Mm-hmm.
So every single month, pretty much since I started my first business, it's been growth because I'm accumulating more followers. I'm accumulating returning customers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, with the disc golf chalk bags, it's something you use maybe for, I don't know, depending on how much you play, a couple months, and then there's no more chalk in the bag, and you're like, man, I really like that thing. I'm gonna go buy another one. Where am I gonna buy it from? There's a bunch of different people that make it, but he knows, they know they've tried mine, they know it's a good product, and that's a returning customer. So
Mm-hmm.
with this model, it's like every month is growth,
That's
and that
so
that's an
so
awesome
good.
feeling.
Oh, that's got to be such a good feeling to see that graph like whoop.
It's just consistently going up, and then it's
And
definitely the way.
I think a huge lesson there, and we talk about this in community serve or customer service, that the retaining customers that you already have is such a higher ROI than trying to get new customers.
Yeah,
So spending businesses who spend time and invest their energy into, you know, keeping the customers you already have is far better than, you know, trying to reach out to new customers. It sounds like the products that you have are things that, you know, people need to buy again and again throughout, you know, their years or their passion. So if that is the case for a product that somebody else is wanting to offer, then you want to maintain that customer base, because then they're going to just keep coming back to you rather than going out to any other place.
exactly. And then when people ask about the product because they're interested in it, for instance, somebody sees somebody using a chalk bag like that, they say,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's dope. Like, what is that? And they're like, oh, it's a chalk bag for disc golf. It's like, it helps my grip. And they say, what, like, do you just get that online? And their response is, oh, I get it from this guy. I know, I follow his Instagram. It's one person. Like, I see him making the products. It's cool, you know. They're also supporting small business. It's like, it's definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like this passion or desire for consumers that like to know where their product's coming from. And I think more and more that's becoming a thing, and people like small businesses, people like supporting, a person that they actually know rather than Nike. Like, who is Nike? Nike's, millions of people working together, but like, who is Disc Ripley? Like, oh, that's Ryan on Instagram. Like, I love what he posts. I love like his products, the little money chalk bag. Like, you feel more connected with small brands. And if you want a small brand, whoever's listening, you got to just build it and get people to know who you are. I think that's really important.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I want to go into detail about the business aspect of Ripley's and where I've gone from there, but I mean that's going to be a multi-episode thing.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we're gonna, for people listening, we're gonna do some more of these episodes and learn more about micro communities and marketplaces. Because if we went and talked about everything we want to talk about today, it would probably be like a 2-hour episode.
It would be even more, yeah.
Yeah. So, but hopefully we can provide hours of content through, different episodes. And Ryan and I here want to keep talking about this. We're both passionate about business, both passionate about selling products, and also I think both of us share a passion for, wanting to help others maybe do what they like to do. It sounds like you, at the beginning of this, you said that you wanted to show people kind of how you did it.
Yeah, I would like to show people the process, the processes, the process.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know, that I took, to get to where I am, and I'm in a good place. I have a ton of free time.
Mm-hmm.
Escaping the 9 to 5 is something that's pretty important in my life. And this is something you can do and build while having a 40-hour job. This is something you can build while having, working 60 hours a week. I built my first business while traveling. I was living out of a backpack in different foreign countries, had a girlfriend for the most like amount of that time. So it's like had a lot of stuff going on, but I still was able to build my brand and eventually get to the point where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm. Well, if that's not inspiration, I don't know what is, because I think all of us can start a brand, especially with all the tools and the internet, resources that we have. I think if anybody's thinking about doing something like this, they really should just start doing it. And I think that where you started, you was on YouTube and like learning from YouTube. And this episode's gonna go on YouTube, and our future episodes will go there. And maybe someday there'll be some how tos, and whether it's with me or whether it's just you. But I think it would be cool for the Ryan cycle to go full circle, and then all of a sudden Ryan is teaching people how to do things just like you learned how to do things.
Yeah, I think there can be some good information in these if we keep these going.
Mm-hmm.
For this first episode, I guess here that we're recording now, I guess the topic was the micro communities and finding your own micro communities. So I think we should talk about that. What we still have a little time here without expanding too far into the business realm.
Yeah, I think that's great. I got like 3 or 4 more minutes here before I got to go to my appointment. So if you want to maybe
Sure.
cap it off with some micro community.
Sure. So if building a business is something you're interested in, and building a business in your own micro communities is something you're interested in, that is the route you should take. So for this first episode, I would say if this is something you want to do and kind of start following, and I would say the first thing to do is identify your micro communities. Like I said, for me, like right now, what I don't have businesses in that I could easily start would be, let's say, the fitness, the yoga, the jiu-jitsu, the Muay Thai. Start following them on Instagram, start looking up on Instagram, kickboxing. If it was for me, jiu-jitsu is more of a passion. So let's say jiu-jitsu, start following on Instagram, start seeing, what other people in the communities are doing. You could go on Reddit. That's like one of the biggest ways to identify your community. Just go to Reddit, / jiu-jitsu or BJJ, and there's just tons of forums of people talking about it. I mean, and everybody should know themselves, so they know what they're interested in. So find your micro community. maybe narrow it down to 2 or 3 micro communities, start following them on Reddit and Instagram, just learning about them. And then I would say start kind of seeing the products that are used in those communities. Just off the top of my head. So let's say kickboxing is something I'm interested in. I follow kickboxing stuff on Instagram, on Reddit. I do kickboxing, so I know about the subject. One thing is hand wraps. You always want to wrap your hands before wearing gloves and whatnot to protect your knuckles. When I first started buying them, I was like, man, I wish there were some cool hand wraps. I wish I could put my picture on these hand wraps. I wish I can put, whatever you want on them. And there's not that much out there. There's like maybe was like one company that was doing it. So just right there, that's like that can be your niche product. It can be a custom, if you're into kickboxing and that's your micro community, it could be a custom hand wraps that have pictures of whatever, like the person that buys can upload the picture and put it on your hand wraps. That business alone, that can make millions. I know it sounds like one product, one small product, but there's so many people in the world, so many people, and they, if they see that, I would buy them, and I'm in the community. So if you're in the community, there's a product you come up with and you say, hey, I would buy it. So would hundreds of thousands of other people, millions of people, depending on the community. So yeah, I'd say first step, identify your communities, see what you're involved in, what you like, just kind of start maybe following them on social medias, Instagram, Reddit, forums, and then identify products within those communities.
Yeah, I think that's
a good start.
I think that's a great procedure. Yeah, I think that's super valuable. Yeah, those are the steps that you took, and it's working for you.
Yeah.
And I think
I just took it over a long period of time, but we could really shorten up this process. It's like it took me, I guess, 2.5 years to where I'm totally financially comfortable with my lifestyle. And that can be shortened up to, that could be
no, that's really inspiring, and to hear your story, and I hope that the viewers get a lot of value out of that, and hope that they tune into the next episodes, because it sounds like we'll dive further into this micro community zone, and like we could be laser focused on the the how, the why, and just the how to do this type of stuff, because it seems very doable. I mean, with the girlfriend, it's 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, traveling, whatever the case is, sounds like you can create time to do this.
Yeah, it's do it in your free time. It costs you nothing. Like I said, I was broke. I had no money. I didn't have money to put into it, and I was able to grow from nothing to enough to support. And that's it's a great feeling when you're able to do that.
Dude, that's awesome. I think that's a great tone to end on. Thank you so much, bro, for sharing today. And I look forward to future episodes. So for anyone listening, check out. What was it? What you want to drop?
I have a website actually. Yeah, grippleys.com. That's more of the way. Or you can follow my Instagram, which is @disc.gripply. Grippleys.com.
And grippleys.com. Can you spell Grippleys one more time?
Yeah, so it's GRIPLEYS.com. I would like to show you another product I have in my Grippleys, my disc golf category. If you like disc golf, you can go ahead and buy one for your partner or whoever plays. Yeah,
definitely show us. Yeah, please. Let's see what he's got. Drum roll.
So real fast before we end, another product that I've noticed was in disc golf was a mini marker. Any competitive play, if you have to after you throw your disc, you have to mark it with another disc. I noticed people were using just plain plastic discs. So I was like, dude, those could be way cooler. So I make these. They're handmade out of epoxy
Dude, that's
resin.
Gyarados.
Got Gyarados. I have a bunch of different ones that I make. I allow people to custom make them. Like that's Scooby. This one's pretty sweet. Pokemon variety are going by far real fast.
I love that, dude. I love Pokemon.
And those are epoxy resin. I actually got into I wanted to do something that was like pretty artistic. So I started working with epoxy resin, trying to make other things. And then I realized disc golf, epoxy resin, let's combine those two.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. People can put their own photos on them. So like, it's a great gift that they're selling really well on Etsy as gifts for like Valentine's Day, people were buying a ton of them, like with pictures on them, because you could put whatever you want. And I
That
make
is
them,
so cool.
and it does take time, but it's also building a brand. Eventually, I won't have to work on this. Like everything will probably be drop shipped, and there'll be more advanced products and whatnot. But right now, I'm building a brand and doing it artistically.
That's right, dude. Crawl, then walk, then run. You're doing
Exactly.
it. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
cool. I love. Well, Pokemon cards have been off the shelves on my eBay, so I relate to the Pokemon thing. I love
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah. People love the
People
Pokemon.
love
Those are my
Pokemon.
those are my biggest sellers for sure. And it's
Sweet.
the same community. A lot of I don't know '90s kids play disc golf.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's us.
Yeah.
Sweet, bro. I can't wait till episode 2.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm excited to go further in with it.
Yeah, that was great. I had a lot of fun talking to you, bro. It's good
Yep.
hearing from you again.
Yeah. Looking forward to doing this more. This is fun. It's good to see
Yeah.
that face too.
I know, right? I miss your
Yeah.
face, bro. All right, let's do one. Wait, let me take a photo of us.
All right.
All right, everybody gets to see the photo too. 1, 2, 3. Yes. All right. Sweet. We'll throw it on the gram, Drew. Dude,
Oh,
have
wow,
a good day.
okay.
Give me
Yeah,
one
you
of
too,
these.
man.
Peace out,
Yeet.
brother.
Peace.
Yeet.
Take care.